Carlsbad.
In Carlsbad?
I lived in Carlsbad until I was 22 years old, I think, 21 or 22, when I got married. Carlsbad was really growing, though. Well, I went away for a while. I was in the Navy. I don't know how many out of my graduating class they sent to college, sent me to UCLA.
Whoa.
I didn't want to go. I wanted to get on a ship.
What did UCLA look like?
Oh, I'm sure it's strange. It was just a big college. It was, we lived in fraternity house, all Navy. Had a chief petty officer downstairs. He had his own room. It was good. I had 2 professional athletes in my school, Jerry Shipke and Moose Myers. Jerry Shipke had the best build of anybody I ever saw. Moose Myers, he was just very well built, fast runner.
You hurt your back playing football?
No, ruptured my spleen playing football. Yeah. This guy came when I was running downfield as fast as I could, and I didn't see him coming. And I don't see how he couldn't see me coming, but anyhow, he put his head in my belly. So that ended UCLA. Oh well, things happen. But I got out of the Navy. I worked for a while. I worked at Lockheed for a little bit. Didn't know what I wanted to do, but then I decided I got a GI Bill, I'd go to school. So I came home and went to school. I rode the school bus. See, I was 20 or 21 then. And that's when I saw Dee Dee. Actually, when I drove the school buses, as I said, and I had another job at a gas station. And I ended up my best route. I don't know if I told you before, I must have. I ended up my bus route, and there's this girl sitting across the street on the curb, waiting for her mother to pick her up. And I offered to take her home, or whatever. So I met her in school, and when I found out where she lived in El Camino, with a fairly long driveway going up to the hill. I could go by her house on my bus route. So I asked Mr. Jennings, can I go by there and pick that girl up there? That's before we had a date or anything. So I told her I would pick her up. And one morning, she wasn't down there. You go up her driveway, and there's flat ground there, and then the house and the garage next to it. But I know there's big enough to turn around. So she wasn't down there, so I drove the school bus up the driveway.
Were there people in this?
What?
Did you have other passengers? No,
that was, I used El Camino to get to North Carlsbad.
Oh.
So that was my first stop. If I had other passengers, I probably would have driven up. Anyhow. That's before I had a date with her. But she was sitting there, all the time waiting. I said, well, I'll just pick you up in the morning and then take you back at night. So that's what we did. It worked out very well. You see, she was going to be a nun, as you told you. Her dad was the biggest man in Oceanside. Everybody was afraid of him. He was a plasterer. And he was big and brawny, and he told because they couldn't take her out. He didn't intimidate me. He was a plasterer, you know, and he worked with a couple of them that were in school. They were the couple of the athletes, the wild bunch. And he worked with them, and he told them none of them was going to take his daughter out. Oh, he was great. But let me take her out. She's a relative to the Marone family, and I knew the Marone family because they were in Carlsbad. I knew them from here. And they said, no, I was okay. They approved of me taking her out. God, that was wonderful, you know. She was so beautiful and innocent. I don't know if anybody else asked her out. I know there's a couple of guys that really liked her. I was the only guy she went out with. I had a motorcycle with a sidecar. She wouldn't get in it. She wouldn't let me have a date. The guy running the college part said, why don't you get a car and take her out? So I went to San Diego. I got this 4-door convertible. Beautiful. And I took her out. She loved that car. And she loved convertibles. I was on the football team, and I quit the football team and took her to the football games. Those were our first dates. See, I wasn't taking her to a movie or anything. We were going to, all the kids were going to see the football game. And after we dated for a month or two, she said we went to her folks were in with Anthony and Delia, and she said, "When are you going to kiss me?" I thought I'd taken her out. Seemed like a month. When are you going to kiss me? So I kissed her. When she went in the house, they all knew. When she walked in, they all knew that I kissed her.